Ladies and gents, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the match reaction and the player ratings. As it finishes, Forest 2, Villa 1. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well. And welcome to the player ratings, where unbelievably it has finished Forest 2, Villa 1. If you're in the live chat now, let me know by hitting the like button. And make sure you're subscribed to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And if you're watching later on, let me know who the hell was your man of the match. Because, my God, this is going to be an interesting player ratings and reaction, to say the least. I mean, where do we start? Let's start with the table, ladies and gents. Ladies and gents, we are fourth in the league as things stand. Now, there are negatives with that, because now I have to back Man U to beat Man City tomorrow, and I don't know if I have that within me. We'll have to see what is done. I've got to say, I did not. Let's start from the beginning. All right, the team sheet. I didn't like it. I did not think it was balanced. We talked about it before the match started. It just didn't seem balanced. I don't know why Dominguez was on there. And I'm not saying Dominguez was the wrong choice. I'm saying the shape of it was wrong. He was kind of shoved out to the right-hand side when you had two able wingers in Elanga and Jota, and even Sosa could have done that, in my opinion. My God, you lot can't make your minds up on man of the match in the chat. And I've got to say, that first half was very pedestrian, but I think Nuno would have gone in at halftime very happy with that. Hold on, let me just get everything set up. Sponsored by Shipstone. Thank you so much for the 22 months. The referee was terrible tonight. He was shocking. He was absolutely shocking. But the first half, we went in at halftime. I said to you guys at halftime that Nuno will be happy with that performance because it's 0-0. He stifled their play. The pace of the game was pedestrian pretty much the whole way through until that last crazy 10 minutes. And then we went into the second half, and there was a couple of changes based on injuries that happened. I think Yates came off injured. Who else came off, chat, in that first set? I can't even remember. It was Yates and Murillo. Both of them looked like they'd picked up knocks in that first half. And that didn't really change the flow of the game. And it was about 7 minutes later that Aston Villa scored their first goal. Josh with a £2 super sticker. Show Josh some love. Thank you so much, Josh. Now, for me, Forest then started playing after the goal went in. If I'm being honest, I think Sells was probably at fault for that first goal. I need to see it back. I'll caveat that by saying I haven't seen it back. The header felt too central for me, and maybe Murillo was just slightly out of place. Actually, their goal came before Murillo went off, didn't it? What am I talking about? It came in the 63rd minute. Forget everything I've said. My head is gone right now, just like the Villa fans. Thank you, Mark. You're right. I'm with it. I'm back with it. So I think somewhere between Murillo and Sells laid the fault there. But you got to say Villa moved the ball very quickly. It was a quick out wide, whipped back to the edge of the box, crossed in, bang, bullet header, and what have you. For me, though, the point I want to talk about, it was that change where Elanga came on for Dominguez. Gibbs White dropped deeper. Elanga went out to the right. Jota, I don't even know where Jota was playing. He was like all over the place. He was left, he was right, he was in the middle. But straight away, you saw with Elanga that he was going down the outside. I've only been asking for a year for him just to take his man, get down the outside, cut the ball in. How many times have I said it? Just get to that byline, square it across, man. It's like Pro Evolution Soccer 4. That was the style of scoring. Shout out to me, Julie. Told you last week she's your lucky charm, says Andrew. Thank you so much for the £5, bro. And that's exactly what happened. We suddenly had a reason. And I said this at halftime. Let's just let the super chat read itself through. And I said this at halftime. Bringing Elanga on made more sense because it would have forced that left side where they were releasing Digne as a left midfielder. And Marcus with the 18 months. Thank you so much. Let me do the opener, and then I'll catch up on any more that come through. And what that did when Elanga came on, it meant Digne came back. Exactly what I said to you guys at halftime. He had to play as a left back and it forced them back a bit. Now, my biggest negative about it is, why did it take for Forest to go a goal down to see that beautiful pressing, the hustling, and everything like that? Whereas for the first 60, 65 minutes, there was nothing there from both teams. Neither team were playing at a decent pace. And as soon as Villa injected some pace in it, they got their goal. And then Forest just switched it on. Now, the first goal that we scored, the equalizer, Cristiano Ronaldo's one, that didn't count. Again, that came in because Elanga was on the shoulder of the defender. Gibbs White got the ball through the lines to him, and he was able to square 1-0. That is all Elanga needs to do. That's all I've been screaming for a year. Go outside the man, square it across. We scored in quotations, yeah? I don't think that was offside. And then the corner itself, where we actually scored from, good ball in from Anderson. It broke out to the edge of the box. I think it was to Nico Williams. Played out wide to Morgan Gibbs-White. And finally, he did something decent in that match and whipped a lovely ball to the back post. Milenkovic, man. Milenkinator heads the ball into Martinez, and he just fumbles it over the line. And this is after he's made an absolute world-class save. Talk about Jekyll and Hyde for the Villa fans. And then you just felt that if it was going to happen, it was going to happen to us. We were going to get that winner. And I've got to say, Elliot Anderson cannot go unspoken about for his performance today. I said in the last game what a difference he made to that midfield, what a difference he made again, and especially in that second goal. The way he hustled Matty Cash to win the ball back, took it to the byline, shock horror, PES 4 settings, crosses it in, Elanga making an absolutely superb run across, nutmegs, what's his face, Martinez in the goal, and that's it. And then the ref decides to kick in and just keep adding time and time and time and time and time. And I've got to say, a massive shout out to Willy Bolly. I can't remember the last time he played. Was it against Newcastle, maybe in the cup? He came on absolutely calm. He switched to the right centre back. You had Milenkovic in the middle and Murato on the left-sided centre back. And Willy Bolly, couple of cracking clearances as well. And that put Forest fourth. It was... Would this make sense if I said to you guys, it was one of the dullest games I've ever seen for about 70 minutes. And then my heart is still racing now, man. It was absolutely crazy at the end there. Absolutely crazy. Unbelievable. Get your player ratings in. The link should be pinned in the comments for you guys. We're going to go through those. Let's see what you guys rated the players at. Quick reminder, do hit that like button. Mods, how we doing on that like count? Let's have a quick look. We've got 108 likes. We got over 600 of you in here. Please take a quick second, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well. Curtis with the $20. Thank you so much. He says, why not start that lineup? Solid with energy, Striker Woods, Hudson-Odoi, Jota, Anderson, Morgan Gibbs-White, and the rest of them at the back. Yates, Domingos, Marta off the bench to close the game out. It's a good shout. We'll talk about it. Right now, I don't care. Right now, I'll be honest with you, I don't care. So, 8:30, I'm with the Never a Foul boys. Cass had the cheek to come in here and run his mouth when we won 1-0 down. Does he not know who we are? Massive shout out to Carl as well for the 16 months and Marcus as well for the 18 months. And again, thanks for the £5, Andrew. Your lucky charm came through. Me Julie did it. All right, let's get into the player ratings. I'm just like, my heart, man. This Forest are not good for my heart, man. That's one thing I can say for certain. They never have been and probably never will be, man. It's just ridiculous. Okay, so let's kick this off with Cells. Get your ratings in for Cells, and then I'll give you mine, and we'll have a look at it collectively in a second. I don't think he had too much to do, surprisingly enough, I would say. He didn't have much to do in that game. He should have saved the goal. The only thing that stood out to me in terms of additional things that he did was when he had to flick the ball over for a bar from a kind of cross that was coming at him. I don't think there was too... It's how much do I fault him on the goal? Now, caveat, I haven't seen the goal back. I still think it was too central and he should have saved it. I'm going to give him a 6. A 6. Mark with the 5 US. He says, this is for another pint, Wolfie, or a honey tea for your throat. Thank you, bro. My throat is gone, man. My throat is absolutely gone. You are EDDDDs. I love how she reads it out. You're a legend, bro. Thank you so much for the $5. Now, maybe I'm being a bit harsh on the 6. I may recant that tomorrow once I've seen the game back. I just don't know how much blame I'm allotting to him on that goal. So it's a pending 6. It's a pending 6. That's all I'm saying. Let's see what you guys said. All right, clearly you guys didn't rate his miss, or it wasn't his fault either way. You guys are giving him a 7. I can't comment. I need to see it back. If you want to see the goal back, you can see it straight away. ! Goal. Syro giving him a 5, man. Chelsea fan there giving him a 5. All right, so that was Sells. Let's go to Einar. I thought Einar had a very tough game today. I can't. My head is gone, man. I don't know which way to turn right now. Where is Einar? There he is. I thought he had a very, very tough game. He was up against their attack, was very heavily down that left-hand side. You had Digne coming at him. Pau Torres working the channel behind him. McGinn floating across to the left. I thought he did really well in that game. And then when Elanga came on, it allowed him to get further forward and play higher up the pitch. Mark with the £5 says top 4 dream is still alive. They're gonna have to believe it now, man. They're gonna have to believe us now, aren't they, Mark? Thank you so much for the £5, bud. Let me just have a quick sip, guys. My throat. Anyway, right. So back to Einar. I'm going to be biased. He's my favorite player. I make no secrets about that. But honestly, I thought it was mature when he had to defend in those first 70 minutes he was. And when we attacked, he was part of it. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. What do you guys think? Cloud with the 500 yen says, first time we've had over 50% possession all season. Finally, a complete performance. You Reds. Stanik, bro, you're not much wrong. You're not much wrong. Absolutely true. Thank you so much, Cloud, for the 500 yen there. So I'll give him an 8. Let's see what you guys have done. All right, about 8.2. My Einar goggles, you lot can't accuse me of it in the chat. Sebastian giving him a 10. Some 8s and 7s in there. Drink that happy clapper juices. Davey boy, man. I need it. I need it. Stevie, thank you for subscribing. Can we get to 21,900? We need 36 more subscribers. Show us some love if you're not subscribed. And also a massive shout out to Football Prizes, where you can win this signed frame Taiwo shirt and an insta win of the Einar shirt or the Callum Hudson-Odoi shirt. All you have to do is scan that QR code or click on the link. It's in the description. It'll also be in the chat for you guys in a second. Shout out to Football Prizes for sponsoring this. Yuquan Chan says, luckily I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning in Hong Kong to watch this massive match. Come on, you Reds. Legend. Thank you so much for the $25, bro. Appreciate it. Look who's showing his face. I'll see you at 8:30, bro. I'll see you at 8:30. Carl with the £5 says, cracking game. Come on, you Reds. Carl, you're a legend. Thank you so much for the £5, bro. Much love. Much love. And my man Lefty in the chat, I said 1 apiece. And Nick, 1 in the last few minutes. You Reds, happy, bro. We're 4th, man. We're 4th. You'd like to say you meant what? You want the redirect. All right. We will be live on Never a Foul after this, okay, at 8:30. So if you hang around after this, I'll redirect it to Never a Foul, and I'm going to absolutely rip it out of Cass. I really am. And Josh, their Villa boy as well. Okay, let's move on from Einar, and let's head over to the Beast. Now, I will tell you guys now, I will accept nothing below a 9 for Milenkovic. Defensively, solid. He scores the goal that gets us back in the game. Legend. Captain style performance. I love him. I absolutely love him. Phil with the happy 2-year anniversary. So I will tell you now, if you guys have gone below a 9, Yeah, that's it. I'm closing the channel down. We're done. Okay. But faultless performance for me, for him. Such a leader. I'm giving him a 10. I was really impressed with his performance today. Solid 10 out of 10 for me for the Serbinator, that is Milenkovic. I dare you guys to have gone lower than a 9. I'm seeing 10s in the chat. I'm seeing 9s in the chat. Chaka going 8. Someone banned Chaka. You guys went, drum roll, please. Oh, you just squeezed it. Oh, the future of the channel was there in the palm of your hands, and we squeeze in by a 0.2. I still think you're harsh, by the way. Like a low 9, that's not where it's at. That's not where it's at. He was so good today. He's a 10 out of 10 for me. A goal, okay, it wasn't a clean sheet, so you could argue 9.5. But it's those leadership qualities that he brings and the calmness to that defense. Absolute fantastic performance from him. Okay, let's move on to Murillo. Murillo was a little ropier for me. You could argue he was at fault. He kind of just headed the air against Duran. I don't know what quite happened there. Don't forget the Villa podcast video this week, Wolfie. Oh, Banksy, yes. Did you guys like that trolley video I did against the Man U fans? We'll do it for the Villa fans and also for anyone else who had a bad result. We'll make it fun. Make sure you're brushing your teeth, Wolfie. I'm trying. What the hell's What is that? All right, let's go on to Murillo. Look, I think Murillo was about a 7, if I'm being honest with you guys. Just a little ropey. There is partial blame for him at the goal. He made some cracking passes and some loose passes. I just don't think the performance was consistent enough to score him higher than a 7. Now, he did pick up that knock, I think, midway through the first half. So maybe he was playing with some pain or what have you, but I don't know what the injury is. So I'm gonna have to give him a 7 out of 10 for me. I thought Milenkovic outshone him today. And did he have a chance on goal as well? Yeah, he had a header, didn't he, that he sliced wide. So I think a 7 out of 10 is a fair score for him. Obviously, it's subject to how injured he was. But if he was playing on injured, then he should have been taken off earlier than that. So I'll give him a 7. You guys went a bit higher, 7.8. I don't know. What did you guys say individually? I'm seeing a few scores of 9s and 8s in there. I think that's a little too high, if I'm being honest. I didn't think he was bad, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he was Milenkovic level. Harsh, says Graham. I try. I'm nothing but objective when it comes to these player ratings, mate. Okay, at left back, we had Nico Williams. I thought Nico Williams was the player of the first half. I've been very impressed with him since he's kind of come in for Moreno at left back. I've never fully read hold on, what's his name again? Williams. There it is. I've never fully rated Nico Williams at right back, and I feel like he's a better left back. I really do. I thought his first half performance was excellent. I thought he kept Matty Cash very quiet. And I think in the second half, driving forward, he was good. So he picked up the ball on the edge of the box a couple of times. He inverted in, which was interesting to see as well. I think he had a really solid performance. He's about an 8.5 for me. An 8.5 out of 10. You guys are saying 8s and 9s in the chat. I'm assuming you're talking about Williams as well. Oh, that's 7.8. 7 point. That's a little harsh, guys. That's a little harsh. It's a minimum 8. I think he was 8.5. I think he was 8.5. He had a good shot. You're right, Daniel. It was a good chance there. Chat, you're letting yourselves down here. Remember, this is a live vote. You can vote for it right now if you haven't already. It'll just update the averages as we go. The link's pinned in the chat. He was man of the match candidate, says Kitty. I think there's a few that we can talk about in a second for man of the match. Let's move on to the midfield and Dominguez. I don't think, through no fault of his own, but from being played out of position, because the thing was, by the way it was set up, he was meant to be playing out on the right, but then he ends up inverting into the middle because it's more natural for him. And then the balance didn't look there. I think he caused the imbalance in terms of the setup. I don't know if this is making sense. And when he got subbed off, because he came off for Elanga, the balance was back. This is like Mr. Miyagi settings, man. Karate Kid. Balance is key. Balance, focus, balance, Danielson. So I don't think he played badly. I just think he caused the mismatch in the setup. Now, if he was playing in the middle and Yates was playing out on the right, I would be saying the same thing about Yates now. And I just don't really like this Yates-Dominguez combo, if I'm honest with you. It just felt a little bit off balance. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he put in a good shift. I've got no problems with his actual performance. It's the fact that it was unbalanced for me. Let's see what you guys said. You said 7.5. Okay, I'll accept a 7.5. I'll accept a 7.5. Wash on, wash off. Phil, wax on, wax off. Oh, okay, I see what you did. I see what you did there. Okay, let's move on from him. Let's talk about Ryan Yates. I thought Ryan Yates had a really good game today. The problem was I didn't know if he was injured or not because you can never tell with Ryan Yates. Clearly he was. I thought he got stuck into a lot of good tackles. Passing was a little bit sideways for me. Could have scored with that header. Absolutely blazed a terrible one over the bar. But in general, I thought his performance was okay for the time he was on the pitch. In fact, I think it was one of his better performances. I think I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I thought he was decent today. And he carried on playing with the injury. Again, what I would say is sometimes the medical staff have to step in. And they've got to be like, you know what? You may think you're fit to continue, but for the greater good of the team, you have to come off. And sometimes I think they let the players decide too much because he didn't look like he shook that ankle knockoff too much. So I thought it was a really good performance for him. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. You guys have gone a 7.13, very specific there, out of 10. Okay, let's keep this party rolling. Quick reminder, get those likes up. Those ones joining us late, we got about nearly 700 in here. Make sure you're subscribed as well to Forest Fan TV if you're new. We're only 34 away from 21,900. Totally agree with that mismatch, Wolfie, says Laurie. 7 from Graham. Yates spends too much time closing down our own players. And Anderson is a 10, says Dams. And that's exactly the player we're moving on to now. Anderson, for me, is very close to a 10. I'll tell you guys off the bat here. I just think his work rates are phenomenal. It was a couple of bad passes and a couple of silly decisions, but nothing that was too costly. And he got the assist, didn't he, on Elanga's goal? I really enjoy watching him play. I think he is so super talented. And I think he caused that driver for us to get over the line, the way he won the ball back off Matty Cash. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10, maybe like a 9.5. Just a few bad passes here and there, nothing to, moan or cry about. But what a player we've got for 12 million. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm going to give him a 9.5. He's a 9.5 for me. Anderson 9.5 today, cracking grafter and so gutsy. Yeah, he was. I agree, Phil. Let's see what you guys said on Anderson. 8.7. Woo! That's not good from you lot. There must be a few salty Villa. Where are those Villa fans who were in the chat? Where was that bellend who was going on about, in 45 minutes time, you will be crying. You will be crying. No, crying to hear you, little shit. Go and cry. Cry more. Cry more is what I say. So I think you guys are harsh. I'll let you lot in the chat sort out the harsh ones there. It is way harsh, Mark. I fully agree. Okay, let's talk about Morgan Gibbs-White. I don't. This one's a tough one, right? Because his assist to Milenkovic was a fantastic cross. His through ball to Elanga for the goal that wasn't allowed was on point. The rest of the time, he wasn't great. It wasn't until he dropped deep where he started to influence the game better. The thing for me, there was 2 things that stood out for me in the negative for Morgan Gibbs-White. That lazy-ass pass down the wing, where he just literally passed it to the Villa player. And the stupidity that he did on the edge of our own box, trying to do a freaking elastico, man. I think he thinks he's 5-star skills on FIFA when he is not. He needs to be calmer, like be sensible. Edge of the box, get rid. Pass, concentrate on the pass. When he dropped deeper in the line, he influenced the game a lot more. He got the assist. He got the offside assist of the assist. See what I'm saying? I think he needs to play deeper. I'm going off him as a 10, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know how we set up, whatever, but I don't know. I think he's got to be an 8. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 because I was disappointed up until the assist from him, or the Elanga ball first, should I say. Everything before that just wasn't coming off. He's gone back to trying too hard and trying to do too much for me. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Maybe you guys think that's harsh. Don't know. Let's have a look. You guys went 7.3. Okay, not bad. Pretty much where I was on that one. On to Callum Hudson-Odoi. I thought this was his best game, since the Liverpool game. I thought he was really good down that left-hand side. Now, he was trying to cut in a lot of the times early on into the right side to try and get his cheat code shot off, and it wasn't working. And in the end, what happened is it ended up almost setting up Konsa, where Konsa felt that he was always going to cut in. So when he went outside him, he was getting in behind from him that way. I actually thought he had a decent game. And there was some times in the game where he ended up being the deep-lying playmaker in the middle of the park. And he actually looked quite good there for me. He was picking the ball up, slowing the tempo down, and injecting a quick pass in between the lines. I thought he had a good game. I thought he had. I haven't got too many. I think he's still a little selfish when he cuts in on the right hand, onto his right foot. That he almost gets tunnel vision and will always go for the shot. But overall, he was an 8 out of 10 for me. I thought a good performance from him. Before we see what you guys gave him, let me just catch up with a couple of things. Phil with the 2 years, we've done that one. And Ben with the 4.99. What a last 25 minutes. I've always backed Elanga, he says. But he knows I was right. Elanga, sub, fantastic. As Keith says, there's nearly 700 watching, 235 likes. Guys, get us to 300. We need to be on 300. You should all be on Cloud9 now. You should have all double check you're subscribed. Make sure you've hit that like button. Get those likes up quickly so I don't have to ask for it again. Thank you very much. Appreciated. Right, for Hudson-Odoi, you guys have gone 7.7. Interesting. I think it's a little low. I thought he was at least an 8, if I'm being honest with you guys. But we know there's some salty Villa fans in the back chat there. Okay, let's go on to Chris. Was it Chris Wood next? Yeah, Chris Wood. I didn't notice Chris Wood was on the pitch until he scored his goal, which obviously didn't count. Hold on, where is Woodinia? If I'm being honest with you, right, ignoring the scoreline and everything else, I think Chris Wood probably should have come off for what's his face, Taiwo, just to spice it up a little up front. But the thing is, his goal shows you that he can be anonymous for 89 minutes of a game, and then he just needs that one chance, and he's going to put it in the back of the net. He did nothing wrong with that goal. He was exactly in the right place, right time. He was onside, etc., etc. But in terms of him getting involved in the game, one, he had no supply, and secondly, he wasn't really able to find a pathway into the game. So, you know, he's there to score goals. He's been banging them in left, right, and center. He's been phenomenal this season. But if you look at it in isolation in this game, I think, if I'm being honest, he wasn't really heavily involved in the game. So I'll give him like a solid 6 out of 10. But there wasn't too much. That disallowed goal gave us the momentum. It did switch the momentum, mate. I do agree. But in terms of his overall involvement, I think it was about a 6. A solid 6. Look, 6 is still a decent score, right? Not everyone has to get a 10 out of 10. You lot are not liking that. You lot, is the boss man, is he a Bosman in Jan? He is. Harsh, says Phil. That's too low. 6 6 is not a bad score. A 3 is a bad score, right? I've given you my reasons. I ain't taking it back. I ain't taking it back. When he scored that goal, that was the first time I noticed he was on the pitch, if I'm being honest with you, okay? Not his fault in a way, he didn't get supply, but I'm judging what I'm judging. Let's see what you guys did. 7.6. Wow. James, they should all be working hard. No one should get extra points for hard work. That's a given. That's a non-negotiable. They should all be get nothing for hard work because I would be taking players off for not working hard. You lot are harsh, man. On me. Goals mean prizes, Wolfie. They do, Jonathan, but he didn't score. Just saying. You lot will realize when you watch the game back that I'm right, as always. He's a 6. He's a 6, like it or not. Obviously, Jess is now all pissed off at me, but love you, Jess. Anyway, watching him chase Pau Torres and Martinez playing with him hurt my eyes. So a +1, says Curtis. All right, I'm moving on from Chris Wood before you guys freaking hunt me down with pitchforks. Let's get into the subs. Jota Silva came on. I thought he was really good when he came on. There was a moment where he gave a foul away halfway into our half that it was a little messy, but I think he was all right. I don't know where he was playing. I thought he was going to come on the right side, which he did for about 10 minutes. And then I really don't know where he was playing where. Can someone tell me what was his official position once Alanga came out? Purchase pitchfork. You do that, Keith. You do that. I'm going to give him a solid 7 out of 10. I thought he was good. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Villa fan here. Congratulations to Forest. No other team I would take defeat this way. I think the draw would have been fair, but fair play to you. Hope you enjoyed the win and also being so high up. Thank you so much. It's nice to hear from the majority of the Villa fans who are really nice, especially the ones I know. But yeah, shout out to you. Hope you guys get, top 4 as well. A place behind Forest, of course. Okay, let's see what you guys did for Jota Silva. 7.2. We're in the same ballpark. That's good. Okay, then after Jota Silva, Morato. Ooh, Morato. What are you guys saying to Morato? Where is he? There he is. I thought he was good, but not as good as when he was in a back 3. Does that make sense? I think with Morato, there's just a couple of times where he steps too high out of the line, worried me a little bit. I think he was decent. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm now just comparing, is he better in a 3 or a 2? I think he's better in a 3, but I think he did well. There was one really bad pass from him down the left channel that got intercepted, but I think it was Matty Cash that intercepted it. He ballooned it out for a throw-in. And yeah, his tackle led to the second goal. I got no real problems with him. I'm just trying to figure out in my head, is he a better 3 or a 2? You know what I'm saying? In a 3 or a 2. I'm going to give him a 7. I think he was good. 7. I think 7's fair. 7's fair. It was one bad pass, Nico. It stuck out in my mind. Everything else he was spot on with. I'm saying 7. 7 out of 10. Let's see what you guys did. 7.5. Okay. Non-conceded goals while he was on. That is true. Yeah, maybe I'll go in 8 because I do like that rule about him. He just doesn't concede. All right, you guys went 7.5 for him. And then Alanga, the guy who I've been done with for months, finally has been watching our videos. And finally someone said to him, go outside. It's like, you know what? For Christmas, if I knew Alanga, I would buy him the George Michael single, Let's Go Outside. And I would say to Alanga, just have that on repeat, mate. Let's go outside in the morning, whatever the words are. I'm not going to sing it. I don't want you to all turn off. And shock horror, when Alanga goes outside and he has the pace on their fullback, gets to the byline. His work is so easy at that stage. He just has to look up and PES 4, square the ball across, and that's exactly what he did. Now, if he does that every time, there is so much potential in this player. He doesn't need to come inside ever. Keep it on the outside. Where he does need to come inside is when he came inside for his goal. And that's perfect because when the attack's down the left, you want your right winger cutting into the box to be there as an extra body. Fantastic. I honestly don't think he really put a foot wrong when he came on. Shout out, Daz. Hope you're well. I'm close to a 10 with him. I really am. That is his best performance and most impactful performance since the Newcastle game away last season. I agree, Matt. It was never offside. Is he a 10 or a 9? I'll go in the middle. I'll split the difference. I'm going to go 9.5. I'll split the difference. I think he was... It's so nice to see him doing what I've been begging him to do for. And it's so nice to know that yet again, I'm right. I said 9.5. You got, whoa, 8.8. Woof. I'm his biggest critic, and I'm giving him a 9.5. How the hell can any of you score him less than I did? 8.8. Agendas. You see, this is the difference between me and you lot, right? I can put agendas to one side and I can objectively mark a player on his performance, where you lot are so subjective and hold on to your agendas that you can't. Don't give me sub rule, Martin. I'm not having sub rule. I am not having don't start your caveats with sub rules trying to get yourselves out of this. No. If I've gone Alanga 9.5, yeah, you guys should have all been a 10. Like, I should have been the lowest rating. Unbelievable the agendas you guys have got. Unbelievable. Let's move on. You guys sicken me. You sicken me. I'm joking. I love you all, really. Anyway, and then the man himself, Big Willie. Literal Big Willie comes on. He hasn't been in a team sheet for so long. I forgot his name. What is his name? Bolly. There's the main man, Bolly. I thought he was fantastic. How long did he get? He got about 3-4 minutes. In those 3 or 4 minutes, to a T, his defending was perfect. I think he was fantastic. Sharky with the £5. Thank you so much, my bro. He says, I'm proud to say my team is 4th in the Premier League. Love it. Love it. I read that, Sonic. I read that. Thank you so much, Sharky. You're an absolute legend, bro. I'm sure there's a smile across the space in between that beautiful beard. Appreciate it. I don't know if I can give him a 10, guys. I don't know if even Ez is excited. He must have only watched the second half, though, knowing Ez. I don't know if I can give him a 10 because it wasn't very long, but what he did was so perfect. It's a 9. I'm going to give him a 9. David says, question for Wolfie. Do we go on the second half winner if that goal was ruled out? Do we go on and get the second half winner if that goal was ruled out? You give us the impetus to push on and really go for it and equalize? Yes. That's my answer, David. Yes. Yes. Daniel Bryant. Yes. All right, quick reminder. Don't forget you can win the sign frame Taiwo shirt from Football Prizes. Let's see what you guys gave him. What the hell, man? Oh, my. I give up with you, I really do. 7.7 for Bolly. How did you guys find 2.3 marks to deduct from Bolly's performance? I'm not. I haven't even got the energy for you lot anymore. I really haven't. I mean, It's rigged. This is more rigged than the referee. It's those salty Villa fans. Maybe. He was on for 5 minutes. How can you rate him a 9? Because within those 5 minutes, what he did was worthy of a 9. You know what I'm saying? If Chris Wood can be on the football pitch for 90 minutes and have one touch and score a goal, that could get him a 9. It's what they do. Come on, Wolfie. 9 is a bit stupid, says David. What did you give him? 299 likes. Sort my OCD out. Get us over that 300 mark. Okay, let's talk about Nuno, because we talk about Nuno. I haven't got Bolly goggles. I think we should get rid of Bolly this summer. How's that, Si? Huh? How's that? Nuno. Team selection was wrong. First set of subs were, I guess you could say they were injury subs. Where he turned it right was that Elanga sub. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be too lenient on him or too harsh on him. He's given the players an extra day off. Why? Why should he? They should be back in tomorrow training. Extra day off, man. When I get a project over the line at work, I don't get an extra day off. Look, I'm going to keep it simple. It's an 8 for me for Nuno. Like, for the change in tactics is a 10. For the selection of the tactics in the first place, in terms of the personnel, if he had played the players he selected in a 4-3-2-1, I'd have been fine with that. But he played it in a 4-2-3-1 and it wasn't balanced. So that's like a 6-7 for me. I think I'm somewhere near the right mark with an 8. And the result is fantastic. I mean, if you guys go higher than an 8, I will forgive you because we won against Villa. Let's see what you guys went. Oh, whoops. 8.8. All right, I'll allow it because I know there's some of you that can't count today because you're overexcited. But yeah, 8. Okay. So let's do the man of the match. Andrew with the £5. He says, me Julie says the Serbian is unreal. Make him captain. Shout out to me, Julie. Julie, we love you truly. Okay, I'll stop singing. All right, give me some nominees. We got 4 to play with for man of the match, right? What are you lot saying? Okay, Anderson is in there. What are you saying? Milenkovic has to be in there. Elanga has to be in there. Williams, yeah, Williams not a bad shout. So Anderson, Milenkovic, Elanga, and Williams. This is gonna be a tough one. I don't even know who I think. I don't know who I think. All right, let's just go with that. Whatever. Let's just put an MGW in there. Okay. All right, let's see which way you guys vote. I'll give you 30 seconds on that to get your votes up. By the way, while you're voting, I'm going to be on Never a Foul in about 10 minutes time, yeah? I need you in there to troll the crap out of Cass. Forget the Villa fan, Josh. I care about Cass. The little freaking rent-free that I'm living in his mind right now. The fact that he doesn't even support Villa and he's coming in here going, oh, see you at 8:30 when we were 1-0 down. Screw you, man. You can hold that L along with Josh and the rest of the Villa fans. So how'd you like that? How'd you like that, Cass? So get your votes in for your man of the match. This video will redirect you over to them. Let's see how the votes are looking. So 44% to Milenkovic, 39%, 40% now to Anderson. This is tight. Milenkovic and Anderson, 1% in it. Elanga in 3rd place with 13% and Williams in 4th place with 4%. I'm going to give you 10 more seconds. This is tight. 42 Milenkovic, 41 Anderson. This is going once, going twice, going 3 times. Oh my God, it was tied. And then it switched to Anderson. In the last second, a bit like Forest pulling it out. in stoppage time. Anderson is your man of the match with 42% of the vote. Whoa, that was tight, but I did expect it to be tight. I really did. Whew. You guys agree with yourselves? I mean, you voted it, so you must do. But yeah, wow, guys, what a game. What a night. Forest 2, Aston Villa 1. I should call Luke. I ain't got time to call Luke. I want to call Luke. Tomorrow we're back with my match reaction. We'll have Grumpy Old Reds tomorrow evening. Actually, it might be a bit earlier because there's more football on. I think it might be at 6:30, but I'll check with the boys. So keep an eye out about 6:30. But you'll know for sure if you've got, your notifications on. So make sure you've hit that like button. Make sure you subscribed as well. This video is going to push you across to Never a Foul, where I am going to cook the crap out of Cass for a second week in a row. To be honest, I've been cooking him for the last month. So we'll be across there in about 7 minutes time. Forest have won. The world is a happy place. We're 4th in the league. We'll see you over on Never a Foul in a couple of minutes. Come on, you Reds.